Welcome to Witham Sounding Board, a podcast sharing powerful business tips, insights, and trends for those seeking to become a rock star in their industry.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Take Me to the Cloud. With me, I have Senior VP of Business Development, John Shepperson from SWK Technologies, and Manager of Information Technologies, Nick Barron from Marathon Adventures. John, take it away.
Thanks, Kim. Hey, Nick, how are you doing today?
Great. How are you, John?
I'm doing well, thank you. So can you tell us a little bit about the history of Marathon Ventures and what you guys do and then your role there?
Yeah, absolutely. So Marathon Ventures is a food manufacturer here in the Midwest, in just a little bit out of an hour from Lincoln, Nebraska. We manufacture baking nuts, snack nuts, popcorn, coffee, for private label and for our own brand. So we've been doing that for about 10 years now. Formerly, we were Herman's Nut House, Maggie's Popcorn, and Pears Gourmet Coffee. All three companies were combined in 2014, and here we are. We do it all under one roof now. I'm the manager of Information Technologies. I'm a one-man shop. I pretty much manage everything from the fax machine all the way up to our Azure domain controller and SQL Server. That does include the Sage X3 as well. So I pretty much run the whole show. I do have a few outsourced help, but it's only for major projects.
And your background's in managed services, correct?
Yeah. So I was in managed services for about 13 years, and it's really funny because my buddies and I in managed services, we would always joke that if we ever left managed services, we'd either become farmers or be the manager of IT. And I'm not farming right now, so
That's great.
it turned out to be true.
That's great. Well, so what are some of the challenges you guys have had, during the pandemic? I think everybody's been very challenged. We're just talking about my kids haven't been to school in a year and all of those things. So can you tell me a little bit about what you guys have experienced?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's interesting. The challenges that we faced, I feel, are a bit different than challenges that some of our other local businesses faced. Most of our customer base come from people who bake, people who make stuff while they're at home. And this last year, we had a lot more people at home, a lot more. And so our business actually grew quite substantially in compared to previous years. And one of our biggest challenges was actually making sure we could get product in that we could make in time for our business partners to then sell that at their stores. So that was kind of our biggest challenge. Because we're in the food industry now, we already have some fairly strict personnel regulations, and so we decided to kind of increase those a little bit more to help fight off any type of virus spread or anything like that. And knock on wood, we've been fairly safe for most all the year. So it's been a very interesting year.
So you were positively affected by the pandemic, which I've seen some as well. When you look at the supply chain, it sounds like that's where the problems came in. Can you talk a little bit about that? Was it your suppliers of raw materials and those kinds of things that you had issues?
Yeah, absolutely. So we deal with a lot of raw materials, regular Spanish nuts, almonds, walnuts, pecans, so on and so forth. And, as we are diligent throughout each year, we try and plan how much we're going to spend or how much we're going to bring in physically for our inventory. And we found last March, just after things started closing down, we started getting locked up, so to speak, that we were using a lot more than we thought we were going to be. So we had to scramble to renew some extra contracts and buy ad hoc some of our raw materials, which it's a problem, but it's a good problem to have when you're a business like ours. Not that we would ever want this pandemic to continue, but we did find ourselves adversely impacted by it. So, and in that, our technology needs have changed as well. The owner of the company, John Larson, was always very interested in face-to-face meetings, one-on-one discussions, face-to-face in a room, and we have changed and adapted to use remote meetings and virtual meetings quite a bit more often. So much so that we might not even have landlines next year because of how often we use our virtual meetings. So it's like I said, it's been a very big change in landscape, not only for us as a food industry, but us, my department specifically as an IT department. So it's been a very good year.
When it started, I was on an airplane twice a month, and to say that it's been a adjustment would be an understatement.
Yeah, I can imagine.
For my family and everyone, for sure. So how did your X3 ERP system, help you with those challenges, or how did you apply that to the
Right. So interestingly enough, we were on version 6 last February of X3, which is came out in 2014 when we started getting everything together, and we actually upgraded to version 12 last May. So we've had some really substantial changes, and with SWK's help, it's been really a dream. We did this upgrade, and our planning was so forthright and so articulated that we didn't have any issues infrastructurally when we did this upgrade. We had our staff; they were fairly well versed in the new product. We had a version 12 server up and running for a few months, so that they could go in and play and learn how to do some of those extra things while we were waiting for some of our other projects to actually finish up. So, SWK's role is very integral in all of that. Knowledgeable group of people that came and we did some remote meetings. We did do in December of 2019. We did a in-person conference room meeting, conference room pilot, I believe is what you guys term it, and major discoveries on how our processes are and how we can change them. And we've been slowly, chipping away at that block to change how we do our day-to-day work, trying to let X3 automate some of those manual tasks. So it's been really good, and SWK has been a great partner to have throughout all this.
Well, we appreciate you being a customer. So does your office staff, did they come into the office, or did they work from home, or is that still going on?
We still have some staffers that are remote. I'm actually remote 2 or 3 days out of our business week, and then I'm in the office for the other days. But we have some staff that are home. At this point, it's probably going to be permanently. Their production has been really well. Their production has been really a lot stronger, and they have a lot more peace of mind, and their mental faculties seem to be in better shape when they get to wear sweatpants at work. It just seems like that's just a better fit. Now, granted, we do have a physical need for employees because we produce products and we have machines that run products through them. So,
sure.
So I don't think, that won't ever really go away. But a lot of our front office staff, we've built the infrastructure in a way that they can just work from home. They can just remote into their machine and do their work. So it's been a blessing, I feel.
Yeah, I wonder if I believe that some of this is going to stick around. I don't think I'll ever go back to 2 airplanes, 2 or 3 airplanes a month.
Mm-hmm.
I just we've all successfully handled this year, and so I think maybe that your success will continue because people are going to be at home and they'll take a break and go make some banana bread or whatever, right?
Right. No, exactly. And I agree. I think that there's everyone wants to be able to feel safe when they go to a restaurant. And there's no doubt that that's going to come back. But I don't think it's going to be an environment where people are doing that 6 times a week. Because we have so many other businesses that have cropped up from this that have really taken form, and it allows people to be social and still be at home. And it's a landscape that I don't think is going to change back to what it was in 2019.
Do you also do business with grocery stores as well, I assume?
Yeah. So we have some private label business partners that we work with. So that private label means it's their brand. So we help them build out the film and the labels, and we do all the packaging and boxing and everything, and then we send it to them, and then it sits on their shelves as though it's theirs. For example, Target is one of our business partners, and we just went through a revamp on their private label because they went from Market Pantry to Good and Gather, and so we're if you look on the back of those bags, you're going to see our name on there.
Nice.
So it's been pretty awesome seeing these different changes, and a lot of those business partners have been very gracious with us. Their demands are a little bit more understanding during this time, and I think that them being able to lax on that has also helped them see that they can allow themselves to. So it's been a really good, like I said, a really good year.
So as things open up and this year and the vaccine gets out and into next year, what do you guys see coming down the pipe for Marathon?
For us, I think it's probably going to be business as usual. We have obviously we're changing up our mentality as far as technology. We are on this refresh that we did from version 6 to version 12. We've had regular meetings about optimization and regular meetings about continually pushing those quality of life changes into the system. And it's in the end, all that's going to do is allow for growth. It's going to allow us to forecast better. It's going to allow us to schedule better and plan better, and use up more physical resources with a smaller group or even the same group that we have today. Right.
Well, we really appreciate you joining us today, and thank you for your input.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate you guys, and thank you for having me.
Thanks, guys. This is a great discussion on the nature of Marathon's ventures, operations, challenges, and technology. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you'll be first in line to hear what's coming next. Don't want to wait for our next episode? Check us out at withum.com. That's WITHUM.com.